everybody's doing good so far. Oh no, what did I do? Oh, just gonna hang out, buy some time before I gotta start filming. Because I need to start filming a tutorial. Let me go over here and set a few things real quick. Let's see. Hey Manuela. Oh, I need my armrest. I'm just doing a pop-up before I start filming because I need to start filming here. As soon as I get done with the live, I gotta film, and I've got a lot that to do. Hey, good morning, Cecilia. How are you doing? Hope you're both doing well. And hi, Without Feathers. How are y'all doing? That's awesome, sweetheart. Yeah, I'm gonna be. Hi, Dina. Hi, hun. How are you? Yeah, I thought I'd do a last pop-up. It's not my last pop-up. Um, so I don't know why I said that. But starting after, as soon as I get done with this, yeah, 2 days in a row. This is what I'm going to explain here in a minute. As soon as I get done with this live, I'm hitting the ground running. I'm behind on my schedule that I set for myself to have content filmed. Because of my pain syndrome, I wasn't able to sit here and crochet and film it. So starting as soon as this live's over with, I'm hitting the ground. I'm going to be running, filming a lot of content, filming a lot of stuff, and getting everything going. And let's see. Hi, Anna. Welcome in. Hi, Marcelina. So it's just, I got to hit the ground running. So I'm going to be filming a mess ton of content. So I thought, well, I'm sitting here procrastinating for an hour and a half or so. So I just might as well go live and get a little bit of a more live in before I start all the filming spree. Yeah, you went live as soon as I was going to bed. And yeah, I just got a lot I need to get done. It's not that I need to, it's what I want to get done before the end of the year. And the past 3 weeks, because of my pain, I have not done anything. I just barely had enough in me to do the stitch tutorial, and that's really about all I've had in me to do. So now my flare-ups are on the what I call the downslope. Hey, Ardea. Yeah, oh my god, I messed that up, didn't I? I'm not even going to try to correct myself. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Good morning. Oh my god, I need my glasses. Helena. Oh my gosh, Michael. You're educated. Come on now. Sound like it. But I'm going to be, as soon as I get this done, as soon as I get the live done, I'm going to be filming the stitch, editing it. It goes out to members. I shoot to get it to members. My goal is 2 to 3 days before. But for the past few months, because of my pain syndrome, I haven't been able to get it out in the time that I want to. Hey, girl, I thought you were live. You didn't end because of me, did you? Gina, it is 3:53 a.m. I'm a night owl. I don't sleep a lot. Hey, Andy again. Hi, Jason. I just wanted to do a pop-up just to, like I said, I'm going to be hitting, hi, Mary B. the ground as soon as I get done with this. Okay, girl. Okay, good. Hi, Nisi. And so I'm not going to be able to go live all that often. So I was like, well, I might as well get another live in, you know? So squeeze another live in, because as soon as this live's done, I am hitting the ground running. I got to film the stitch, and then I'm going to edit it, get it out. Then I have to finish my Seaside Breeze. Is it? What do I call it? No, Seaside Beach Cover Up. Right, Helena? Oh my gosh, I cannot talk today. And I have to do a tutorial? Oh my gosh. And then as soon as that's done, I made a little, this is just a concept to see how I wanted it to work. But it's an iPad sleeve, and this is cotton. And I sewed it 2 different ways because I wanted to see how I wanted to sew it. So this is just a template that I'm going to go by that I made. An iPad cover or sleeve or whatever you want to call it. And then there's going to be a bunch of stuff I'm going to be filming that can take you about a day to do. And then I have some dyed cotton yarn coming from Dee's Creative Hands, so I can do some Halloween stuff. And then I have some other Halloween, I have some yarn I have to get out of the totes for some of my other Halloween stuff. But I'm going to be hitting the ground running. I've got shirts, I've got blankets. Shirts, blankets, cardigan, male cardigan. I've got a lot going that I need to hurry up and just get done. So I thought I'd squeeze in one more pop-up and let you all know what the plan is. I'm still going to be doing, I'm going to be filming a lot of content. Blankets go, like, oh my gosh, my mind won't stop on blankets. I've already got a Valentine's Day blanket that I'll be working up. I've got a baby blanket, which the yarn is actually sitting right here. And I got it here because I was kind of playing around with it. But there, that's the yarn, minus this. This, variegated yarns in Tunisian really do not work up all that well. Like, seriously, this is just what I was trying to do with the new baby blanket. You can see it doesn't really give you the effect that a variegated should give you with what I'm doing. So I'm trying to figure out a different color to go there. I cannot wait till Jason starts. The only holiday you're let out of the basement for. No worries, Manuela. An interlock mosaic cowl. And mixing Mama G and Katie B. Oh, nice. Like, these creative hands, she dyed me some really awesome cotton orange dye because of one of the projects I had for Halloween. I want it to be cotton because, you know, the cotton doesn't have the stretch that acrylic does. And it is how do I explain? It is a trick-or-treat bag for the little one. But it's a trick-or-treat bag that is not, it's secure so that they can't have their bag snatched because it's going to go over the shoulder type of thing. Hi, Tracy, sweetheart. So yes, you do have an excellent teacher, Jason. Andy is awesome. So it's going to be that, and it's going to have glow in the dark in it because I want a pumpkin face in it. And then I'm debating, like I've already got the scarf designed, a Halloween scarf, and then a hat. And I'm debating on if I'm going to throw in, I may just wait till next year for that, my jack-o'-lantern blanket, because I don't know if I want to do it as a Grafgan. All right. I'm sorry it's backwards. It's just easier for me to do these on my my iPad, because when you go with these vertical lives, and I've been doing them before they were shown in feeds, you don't notice that I have anxiety really bad. A lot of, and I take, like, I have my anxiety meds, and it messes with my heart. So when I was using StreamYard, I get the um, big eyeball that was up here. It's red, and it would tell you how many people were staring at you. When you go on vertical, it's way up here, tiny in the top, way up here, and I don't see it because I'm not paying attention to it. And it doesn't stand out like the StreamYard red glaring at you. Boom, boom, just how many people are staring at it. It feels like it's like this big on the screen when it's not, but when you have anxiety, everything's, huge. So the verticals are great for my anxiety aspect of it. I don't do it for views. It's my anxiety. um, and I know, like, when you, like, I know when Andy, she has a great perfect setup for it. When she's doing her lives, because it's just right there on her workspace. You don't see nothing else but her workspace. Where if you did it horizontal, it would just, I don't think it would look good. And so, but I've gotten a little bit more done on Saggy Granny. It's I've got some more altering to do, because I'm thinking I need to take out a few more of these simple stitches so I can get these sags to be closer together. Sleep well, Jason. Have All right, have a good one, man, and sleep well. And I just got some adjustments to do, but I like the way this menagerie flamingo is working up. Like, the pinks are pulling at the ends, where the other colors are kind of pulling in the middle, and I like that. I kind of like it. Um, I got my thingy. There we go. Everything got twisted. But when I actually work it up for the tutorial, it's going to be in a 2-weight, and this is actually telling me that even though I'm using a 7mm, I'm probably, when I work it up with the 2-weight, I'm probably going to up it up to an 8mm. Nisi, let me tell you, sometimes when I start stuttering and I lose train of thought, is because I paid attention to how many people were watching. There's been times when I've done a late night live and I've had 3, 4, 500 people in here. Yes, I'm using it's the flamingo one. I only have enough. I don't have enough to do like big projects with, so I've been using my menageries to work up my wraps and stuff. All right, you have a good one, Gina. Sleep well, sweetheart. So I've been using it. The menageries that I actually have a mess ton of are um, Rosy Maple Moth, which is right there, and then way over here is Chameleon. And for Bertha, there's Bertha. So I have a mess ton of Chameleon, and I have a mess ton of Rosy Maple Moth. And Pandas right now is using the Rosy Maple Moth to work up a Ruby's Dream in 3-weight, so we can get the measurements for that. I should have done that in the get-go, but I didn't. The Rosy Maple Moth what's left, I have plans for some baby stuff. And then the chameleon, I need to bust that out because I started it, edited the patterns on, did it all for my Snakes in the Garden Bolero. I've got a lot that I need to do, so that's why I was like, well, let me go ahead and get one last pop up in, and you know, chill for just a little bit before I actually start hitting the ground running. Panda's in there sleeping. He's off. He heard. He had a back. Was it a week ago? Hey, Lisa, sweetheart. Oh, Nisi, on your phone, all you can do is just double tap now. Um, I do a lot of viewing on my phone because I'm usually when I'm watching other people's when I can get actually watch. So I'm either in the living room, I'm cooking, doing something that doesn't involve yarn, so I can actually sit there and watch somebody. Most of the time, I don't get to watch a lot of people because I'm having to count constantly, or I'm filming, etc. And you know that life is that's busy, but Panda's in there sleeping. He had a procedure done. I want to say it was about 2 weeks ago, give or take, and he they went in and did some microwaving thing to his the nerves in his back, which helped a lot for a lot of it. But there's what did I just do? One, two. I don't know. But there's one spot it didn't work, so it is massively hurting him. So he got sent home from work Friday to this morning, yesterday morning or Saturday, whatever. He had to go get a doctor's note because he could barely walk. So we had to go to the VA, the emergency room. They gave him a note. They gave him a Toradol, I think, and some more muscle relaxers. And because he doesn't follow up with that back pain doctor until Thursday, so but he's off until Monday. So he's just, So I was like, well, I need to bust out as much as I can. Plus, I got patterns I need to write and get over to him, or just put them on flash drive and give them to him, so that way he can load them up to Etsy. Because my plan has always been from the get go, from starting my channel, was well, I'll talk about that here in a second, Andy. Um, was to teach Tunisian, get it in more people's hands, and hopefully provide enough to where I can get Panda to quit working. We're almost, well, two of those things have been accomplished. Now we're working on the third, and so I just got to bust out a lot of stuff in order for I can just get enough to cover the mortgage and he can quit working. That's all I ever want. And so I'm going to be hitting the ground running a lot. And yes, Andy, about the posh, what Michaels is all they're doing with the posh is it's coming from the exact same manufacturer, because Big Twist, the name, was never owned by Joann's. So when Michaels bought Joann's I intellectual property, Big Twist wasn't included in that. A lot of people think it was, that it was Joann's name. Joann's never owned the name. They leased the name. And so when the bankruptcy happened and they Hirschner's, is able to carry it because they talked to the yarn manufacturer who owns the name Big Twist. Because before the yarn even went to Joann's, it was sold under Big Twist online only at that time, and that was years and years ago. And then when Joann's got it, they just kept the name and just redid the labels. Now, what Michaels is doing is they're getting exactly what Posh is, but they're just putting their labels on it. And Hirschner's is able to carry the yarn, so they're able to carry the yarn, but not the label. And then Hirschner's is able to carry the label and, well, the label and the yarn, of course. Hobie, however you want to pronounce it, is able to carry the yarn, but not the label. So they relabeled it. And at Hobby, it is called crafting acrylic, but they're able to carry and use the exact same names that are trademarked by Big Twist. They lease those. Now, Mary Maxim and Annie's Attic that have it, they don't. What they did is they bought liquidated lot sales and they're just selling them. So once they run out, they're gone off those two places. I, I just know, like, Michael's only, of course, that deal can change and add more to it. It has Posh, Baby Bear, Twinkle, and the Pound Plus, which I don't like. We already know Baby Bear and Posh has been renamed to their weird names of loops and threads. I don't know what they're going to rename Twinkle or even the Pound Plus with their labels. So it's a wait and see game on that. And then Hirschner's, of course, more can get added, but they've got the value, which is just the normal size skeins. They got every colorway. Then Twinkle as well, which I thought was kind of weird, but then again, it kind of makes sense since Michael's relabeling it. And then Supernova. I don't know what else they're going to carry. I'm hoping that they get the Menagerie line in, and I don't know. Ooh, I'm hungry, but I'm not hungry. Um, who is going to get the Christmas stuff or the Halloween yarns? I don't know. My contacting isn't telling me much about none of that. So I don't know. I'm suspecting that it's going to be Hirschner's, but then again, Hirschner's has their own yarn line with the Halloween stuff and with Christmas. So I really don't know who's going to get what, or is it something that they're just not going to do no more? I have no idea. Oh, you missed the party line? Oh no. You mean all of these? Because I've got like 20 of each colorway right down here. All these big cakes up here, that's Vortex. I don't know who's going to get that. I don't know if Michaels is going to get it and relabel it, or is Hirschner's going to be able to carry them. Either way, still Big Twist is around. And normally, when it comes to Big Twist or any yarns, I don't use variegated. And I don't use variegated because it's hard to color control. It's hard. Like, I like the variegated look, right? When you're working it up normal. It's hard to even get that to happen in Tunisian. Just because of the darn return pass. It eats up the yarn, so it eats up your pattern, the variegated pattern. And yes, if you want to drop your channel, type the word love. Actually, let me change that so that way it doesn't get all confusing when people say other stuff. So go to commands. We're going to change it to Dingleberry. No. We'll just make it a stitch name. Mesh. M-E-S-H. So let me update it. All right. There, it got updated. But yeah, I don't know who's going to carry what. And I'm hoping that one of them will carry, like the Vortex was very popular. Menagerie was very popular. Even their Christmas stuff. Like I still have some of the Christmas yarns. Let me step up and I'll show you. You know, from this last year. Well, I have last year's too. 2014 or 2014. Listen to me. Um, 2023, 2024, and 2022. And then I had the Halloween yarns, which pretty much didn't change. They just added some. I have pretty much all of it too as well. But the Halloween yarn I really liked was Vamp, because like when it's worked up in Tunisian, it it looked like it was velvet when it worked up in Tunisian. Let me let's see. Yeah. Here's one of the Christmas yarns from last year, which was kind of a new one, and this says festive fun, but we know this is the Grinch. You know, ain't nothing festive about him. Um, and it is a 4. And then, where did you come from? I don't have them. These are all project yarns up here that I have immediate projects for that are going to be happening here very soon. And then I have this one. That's a weird name. Trimming the Tree. And of course it's a 4 too. But it's for the winter line, which they changed this last year. So I don't know who's going to carry all this stuff. I wish they would let us know if if it's going to be Hirschner's or it's going to be Michael's, and Michael's is going to rebrand it under a Loops and Threads. Just let us know something. You know, that's all I'm waiting on, is just let me know something. You know, yeah, Hirschner's. Let me put this back up. Sit. There we go. Yeah, Hirschner's has great yarn in themselves. I like their yarn, but it's not Big Twist. Big Twist to me is so much softer than most yarns. Yeah, it's a little bit more splittier because it's an airier yarn, 4-weight, but I like it a lot better on my hands because with Tunisian you're always holding it constantly, and I don't use Red Heart because Red Heart is, to me, it's rough, and when you're gliding back and forth, it's rough. And Hirschner's is, I want to say, in between Big Twist and Red Heart in a way, but so I don't mind Hirschner's. And I've used Hirschner's in a few projects, and I have a mess ton of Hirschner's, their brand, because they do have some good colorways too, and like they're good combination, like they're good packs. Like that's what this is. It's Hirschner's, and I like their packs. I think it makes, yes, Andy, exactly. Their packs are really good, and I like how there are certain bunches that if you order a certain way, you're going to get the exact same lot number because they're going to come in a bag. I think it's 5. Yes, exactly, Nisi. And like the Red Heart that we have, which is mainly the the bitty stripes. They're not bad. They're not bad. We have a mess ton. We have a mess ton of these because I got lucky. What, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, when Walmart started carrying the bitty stripes, somebody put them on clearance for $1.50, and somebody went and bought a mess ton of them. So, and I know Panda's going to be doing a blanket in this pattern that we're designing. It's more of a graphic pattern, a graphic Because we've done the cat one, now we're going to be doing the dog one. But this, it's not bad. It's not as soft as, you know, the Hirschners or the Big Twist, but it's close. It's like they're getting there. Oh wow, I've never worked with the bitty stripes yet. I've got well, the four colorways that Walmart had. I got a mess ton of them. I think there's like 20 each, give or take. And there's a kaleidoscope Moroccan, not Persian tile, more like Moroccan glass tiles looking blanket design that I've come up with. But I want to do it as a kaleidoscope as well. So I want to put all those different bitty stripes into it. So that way you can see the kaleidoscope effect. So that's why I'm like, well, that's what I'm going to use those for. And the offset color was a brown, so I had to order just, you know, 4 of the Super Saver big skeins of brown. Maybe you need to, and like, I'm not a fan of, like I said, you know, I'm not a fan of Red Heart or anything, but I'm not gonna pass up $1.50 skein. There's just, especially something that's new came out. I did also. I want to say it was like a few weeks later. I went to the Walmart and they had 4 different colorways of. I don't know if it was the Granny Square or no, it was the Flower Power yarn. They had 4 different colorways on clearance. I snatched them up. I was like, I'll figure something out with them. You know, I'm not gonna do the squares because I'm not gonna do that. I'll use them some another way. And just like all that, you know, when they did their mystery boxes at Yarn Inspiration, and the mystery boxes really were just smaller skeins of the Granny Square and Flower Power squares. I, you know, I'm gonna be making beanies with those. This will be perfect for it. And you know, Panda wanted a couple of the Granny Square ones, so that way he wanted to see how it worked out. Because like when we first met 20 some odd years ago, well, almost 25 years ago, what he was doing was a Granny Square blanket. He loves Granny Squares. He keeps begging me to figure out how to do a Granny Square in Tunisian. And I'm like, I've got so much else to do. I don't need to be working on that yet. Oh, yeah. That's a good idea, Nisi. Now, like, I know what I wanted to do. Like, I know, you know, Crystal has given me permission. I don't want to ever convert any of her blankets. That I will never want to do because she's put so much thought into those. Even with her clothing. But I know she likes to see her clothing stuff in Tunisian. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is a shirt. And I've already bought the yarn. It is cotton. It's mercerized Egyptian Giza cotton, whatever. I don't know. Michael knows acrylic. That's all Michael knows. I'm not one of those. I know everything about yarn because I don't. My yarn person, literally, is infinitely zero Nessa. When I want to know something about yarn, I just hit her up on Messenger and we chat. But this, let me see if I got this. I have had it linked to my last Saturday live. Where did I put it? No, 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 no. Let me go to my last Saturday live. It's a shirt of hers I'm going to convert to Tunisian. Turn that down. And I think it's going to look, because the only reason like it stuck out to me, because she reshared it on her, what was it? On her post. And I remember when I was digging through my stitch library, which is on a spreadsheet, that I was looking for just a certain stitch that I wanted. I knew it. I've done it before. I just couldn't find it. But when she posted this shirt, I knew right away that, because the thing with her, when I convert her stuff, is I look for a stitch that is so close to what she used, and that's hard to do in Tunisian, is to look for the same stitch. And that's what I was trying to do, and I found it. And where is it? Okay, stop. No, we need to go to the very beginning and pause. Go big. I said go big. Oh, Michael, you got to turn the screen down again. There we go. And it's that shirt. So, and I'm thinking this yarn will go great with that shirt. And I have this, let me put it as close as I can to the screen. And I have a very, very, very similar stitch that will work perfectly for it. I'm wanting to start that. I'm hoping in 2 weeks, because the person I'm measuring this after, because I don't have the tatas. I don't have that, you know, so I can't do it to my measurements. I am measuring it to somebody who I picked, and they give me their measurements. Once I make it and send it to them, they'll take the pictures that I want, and they'll be the thumbnail, because I don't have, I'm missing things, so I can't model the shirt right. So I'm making it to somebody's size, and I pray to God I have enough of this. I have these up there. Oh my gosh, Michael, can you not read? It's a 3 weight, but I believe there's 136 yards. I have 20. That's over 2,000 yards. I may have to order some more. I'm not 100% positive, because I'm not 100% positive. And then I want to say it was about a year or so. Well, here, I can look. Go back to that same video, Michael, because I linked it there too. Go to my lives. Go back there. Go back to the information. There's a cardigan she did. Is that it? Yes, that she did 10 months ago. Okay. And I was wanting to convert it then, but I, of course, trying to find a stitch to mimic what she used or close to it. One didn't exist in Tunisian. So last week or 2 weeks ago, I was sitting here because I was in pain, so I was just playing around. And I found a way to mimic the look of it. And get it started so you can see it. Boom. Come on, go away. And it's that one. And the stitch that she used, let's get it to the stitch. Come on, go closer. No! Why did I fat finger that? Get closer. Oh wait, well we can just zoom right there. Nope, Michael. Why does it do that to me? Is the almond stitch. And I think I have come very very, 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 very close to the almond stitch with my little, I want to say almost finagling two different types of stitches. And there we go. Stop, 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 stop. There we go. That's the stitch. And I very well came very, I'm pretty darn close to it. So I was like, well, you know what? I can kill two birds right there. That cardigan, because she loves seeing her stuff in Tunisian. When I did the first shirt, she loved it. And so, I'll do it in Tunisian. Yeah, the only thing I will never do is write a pattern and sell it. I will never do that because it's not my work. You know, I love doing that, and just showing somebody what their creation looks like in my style, and I just love doing that. And I've got my own stuff I want to do too. Of course, you can see a lot of my own stuff here. I've got dry erase here, and then inside my recording cubby, another dry erase there, and it has blankets and stuff that, like, I have a blanket that I want to do. Like, I've got so many blankets, but Pineapple Express, that'll be a Tunisian in the round blanket because I figured out how to do a pineapple stitch in Tunisian. I've got a lot of stuff up there, but I just, I've got a lot going on, and I want to get a lot done. And in order for me to do that, I gotta stop or pull back from doing lives so I can buckle down and just do this and get this stuff out. Because yesterday I said that starting at the beginning of next year, in January, I'm doing a 52-week crochet along. And I know that sounds like a lot, but most of these crochet alongs or stitch sample, it's because it's a stitch sampler. And a lot of these crochet alongs, or stitch samplers, they do like maybe 12 stitches at most. But we're going to do 52, one for every week. But we're going to have fun with it. I can't. So you could have all types of shapes. You can have squares, rectangles, triangles, L's, but it's how we stitch them, and we're going to go in an order because I'm going to lay it out in graph form, and then I'm going to assign each one a stitch, and then that's how we're going to do it. And we're going to go in order, and then once we're done, we're going to stitch it. And the way we're going to stitch it with the zigzag types. What are the joining stitch? And it'll make it look like, one, it's going to be fun because it's a great, in my opinion, a great scrap buster. And you just use your scraps, and make it as colorful, have fun with it, and it's gonna be fun. I'm not gonna make it like, oh my gosh, elaborate, but I just want people to have fun with it, and it'll look like one of those. Hi Diana D, sweetheart. It'll make it look like one of those cartoon hillbilly, like when they show the hillbillies in cartoons and they got those blankets where it's all the different patch sizes just sewn together. That's what I want to do, like a patchwork, yes. But I want to make it a stitch sampler, a true 52 stitches, different stitches, that way. And they're going to be the beginner ones, and I'm not going to throw in the elaborate I don't want lace stitches in it because that just defeats the purpose, in my opinion. And I think it'll be just having fun with it. You're going to be doing different shapes, but they're all going to work together in the end when we stitch it together, and it'll be a nice blanket. I think a fun blanket. I've done a lot of looking around when Panda mentioned it to me, and I was like, because this is Panda's idea, and it's called the Busybody. But when he mentioned it to me, I went researching. Diana D, I want to start it in January. Let me look at the very first week of January. I'm thinking January 7th. I think I'm gonna have it start on a Wednesday and just have those each Wednesday something drop that goes in line with the pattern that I have laid out. Oh, I need to get that off Top Chat. That's why I'm missing stuff. Yeah, exactly, Judy. It'd be a great stash buster because, you know, we have a tote, right? A couple of totes. And we just wrote scrap on them. Even though, you know, they're like this and they're just one. But what can you do with, I mean, with Tunisian, there's not a lot you can do with just one. So originally I was going to do like a Punky Brewster type cardigan, but that wouldn't get rid of a lot of them. So I was like, well, why not? When he mentioned that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. That is, hey, sweetheart. I can't even read. Yeah, it'd be fun. You know, I'm not going to make it elaborate. I'm not going to, it's just something fun. Get rid of your stash. Plus, you're going to be learning, you know, we're going to learn, we're going to do the first 5 base stitches, and then we're going to explore from there. And it's still going to be easy, you know, or I can't say easy. I need to stop saying that because I know what's easy to me isn't easy to anybody else. But it's, you know, I'm not going to be throwing in, you know, intermediate or advanced stitches. I don't want that. I want to still make this blanket as beginner friendly as possible and have fun because that's what it is. Colors are going to be all over the place because we all have different, hi Crystal, different, you know, colors. We have a lot of blues and golds and some reds in our scrap buckets. And, you know, just use them. Have fun. And that's the whole point of it. Because I was sitting there like, there's another crochet along I want to do, but when he mentioned that, I was like, you know what? People are having all these elaborate crochet alongs. Let's do one that's fun. Just make it make no sense. When you put it together, it'll make sense. But you're learning new stitches as you make each piece for it. And that's what I want. And I don't want, you know, make a square, set it off to the side, now he makes the next, whatever the shape's going to be. And you can use whatever you have. Or if you want to go out and buy yarn for it, you know, by the time it starts, I'll be able to know how many yardages it is, I hope. Because that's another thing I'm going to start filming here in the next few weeks is start filming those so that way I can have them ready to go, and then you all can also see what the yes, Nisi, exactly, but a blanket, and it's like an ugly stitch sampler, and it's going to have 52 stitches in it. Well, 53 because we're going to be doing a zigzag joint, so 53 total stitches in it, which you're learning at the same time, you know. So, and I think it's a great Stash Buster 2 teaching tool. 3, to have fun. That's all it is, you know. If you want to keep it for yourself or give it away, you can make it all one color if you wanted to or not. You know, I'm just going to be using scrap yarns and having fun with it because that's what that whole crochet along that I want to do is just have fun. Because the original crochet along I wanted to do, it's different. But I was like, you know, and like I said, you know, when I was thinking about it and he mentioned that, and I've seen all these elaborate, you know, they're pretty as hell, don't get me wrong. All these crochet alongs people have done or doing or plan on doing coming up, they're great blankets, don't get me wrong. But in my opinion, I want fun. Because you know, Juan does great blankets. You know, his crochet alongs are great. You know, same with, you know, Crystal's and everybody else's. And all these crochet alongs, they're great blankets. But I've also heard the other side of people constantly itching, but with a B, because there's parts that are a little complicated. You know, I don't want any copper. I just want to have fun with it. Awesome, Andy. Exactly. Like I have all the shapes all laid out in stitch fiddle. I just colored. I just made the shapes, put them all different colors, and then I'm gonna go through and assign the colors into stitches. So then that way I know, okay, and make sure everything fits right, all that happy stuff. Still make it a nice blanket that fits, everything fits good. Hey, Jan. And see, I like to do difficult because, and I like to invent difficult. And like I said yesterday in yesterday's live too, was the like things I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, there's tutorials on them, but I don't want to watch tutorials on them. I want to figure it out because I think if I can figure it out, it makes it that much easier for me to explain it while I'm filming. Hey, Sandy, sweetie. Sandy, there's a I can't I'm not going to be saying easy anymore, but there are 52 stitches that I say they're beginner friendly. And a lot of them are, you know, I have done I keep looking at my swatch board that's gone now. I have done about 40 of those stitches that I want in this. So I still have to, you know, I still got to drop stitches so I can get it in there. And then I still got to film everything. Yeah, I got a lot of work to do. And that's why I wanted to do this pop-up. It'll be a while before I go live again because, like I said, I'm going to be doing the blanket. I've got all the Halloween stuff coming up. I've got these shirts. I've got the cardigans. I've got blankets galore. I've got a woven blanket that I want to do. It's Tunisian, but you weave it. That's as much as I'm going to give away. Baby blanket, I've got, and I still have quite a few other stuff I want to do. You know, one-day projects that I have a list. I don't know where I put it. But I'm the only time if I pop on, if I do a pop-up after today, it'll be while I'm sitting here working something up or in the middle, or because I'm done filming for right now and I have to work it up before I can film more. So the standard, like, normal lives, I haven't done a normal live in forever where it was scheduled except for last Saturday. I have a live coming up the 19th. Is that the date? I don't know anymore. Yes, I have a members only live scheduled for the 19th. That's going to be a quick live. It's not going to be too long because I'm going to be doing a members only giveaway, which is the prototype to, I have to still weave in the ends, but the prototype to Bee's Knees. Rena at Rena's Threads and Craft is made a cake for me to use for the real Bee's Knees once I get it made. And oh my gosh, these cakes are beautiful. And that's the cakes that I'll be using. Oh my gosh, Michael, hold it right. For the Bee's Knees, because the Bee's Knees is not going to be just like that. Main body of the prototype is just smock. The smock was easy for me to continue doing because the only reason I worked that up was so that I can get counts. I've before I started my channel, the only wearables I ever did was I did a few shawls, I did scarves, of course, hats or beanies, and 2 sweaters. So I don't have the counts for this stuff, you know. So I worked it up just mainly for the counts. It's a 2/8. So it'll give me a good guesstimate count. And they really are, and you see, I've been working on a michi with a michi cake, which I wanted to show yesterday, but I forgot. Um, One of my tote bags. I've got so many of these. And, uh-oh. Oh, my goodness, what did I do? Here's the needle. I don't know if the pattern's coming through or not. If you can kind of, yeah, a little bit. Oh, it is actually coming through pretty decent. I was missing, yeah, so that's what I've been working on with the michi, with one of the michi cakes. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I was just making a pattern up in my head, and I wanted to see how it looked. So I'm going to continue doing that, and I don't know what it'll be. And then there's a few other things quite a few other things. Literally, I was just playing around, trying to keep my mind off my pain. You know, I did this. This is Tunisian. Of course, all these stitch markers are counts for me. I needed counts so I could write down in my book. And then, ooh, what did I do there? Oh, of course, there we go. We'll do it that way better. Messing around with this, trying to make, messing around with granny squares. And everything's just to get counts because I needed counts. Little leaf motifs. Another little leaf motif. Just playing around, keeping my mind busy and giving me counts. It's because there's going to be how do I want to say it though? A bag? Yeah. It's my bag of holding. That's what I'm calling it for gamers. And of course, it's going to be done browns. And it's kind of be an elvish theme. And I'm going to be putting little leaf motifs all on it. And figure out how to crochet like little bottles to hang from it. Something cute. Different for me, A lot of this stuff is different for me. As much as I hate doing them, my comfort zone is blankets. And people tend to love blankets. So I do blankets. It's my comfort zone though. Even though I don't like doing them. I can't say I hate. Because most of my designs I have coming up are nothing but blankets. I'm working, like I said, saggy granny. Which is gonna, because it's gonna be a long rectangular shawl because I wanted the sag, and it's hard to get the saggy stuff in a triangular shawl. I tried my heart out to get it into a triangular shawl. I just could not. Oh, Amanda, and ooh, that'd be kind of cool though. I tried to get it into a triangular shawl with Tunisian. It just wasn't going to happen. So I'm like, well, I can do a rectangular shawl, but if I did it like I did Ruby's Dream, where it's vertical, just the saggy parts would be at the bottom. I don't want that. I want the saggy parts there, all the way along. So Saggy Granny is going to be a long rectangular shawl. Right, Nisi? And the baby blanket, Tracy, that I have, I showed the yarn. Gotta restart my blanket. The baby blanket I have that I'm going to be doing is going to be in these 3 yarns plus ivory. I'm not going to be using this because I don't like using variegated in Tunisian. I'll use it to help me figure out, things. That's about all as far as I'll use it for. And it's going to be a really cool blanket, but also it's going to help teach the four of the 5 base stitches, because I'm not going to put the full stitch in here. It's going to have the simple knit, reverse, and purl, but it's going to teach those stitches. So it's kind of like a base 4 teaching blanket, but it's still going to be a baby blanket that's going to be cool with the plan I have in my head. it's going to be cool. Different than what you've seen. I mean, most of my stuff has been different than what you've seen, but it's going to be even more different than you've seen. Yeah, it's just going to be different. It's going to be cool. I explained the idea to the panda, and he went Googling because he's like, are you, make sure you're not good. Whenever I come up with an idea, we do look it up and see if there's something similar, because if something's similar, then I need to make sure how similar my idea is, because I know there's 8 billion people on here, and it's going to be hard for us to have an original idea. And I just want to make sure that it can't be construed that I'm ripping somebody off, because I don't watch anybody. I take that back. I do watch Bag a Day. I do watch Mikey, and I do watch Craig. But their crochet, I will not watch another Tunisian channel. I do not want, because I don't want them. I don't want to be influenced by their ideas. I want to stick with my original. Now, everything that I have written up here, the names are filed because I have. These are my idea books. I have 4. Actually, I have 5, 6. I have one that's completely full, and each page, that one's half full. So I sketch my ideas out, and that's what I use those for. And they're grid paper, so they're perfect for Tunisian. But you know, I just don't. I want to stay original. I don't want to copy nobody. I I do want to take new concepts into Tunisian crochet. You know, there hasn't been a true kaleidoscope blanket. There hasn't been a lot of true things that I want to bring into Tunisian. Just, you know, there hasn't been a true Jacob's ladder in Tunisian. Well, I figured that out. Well, I'll be doing the tutorial on it hopefully soon, because my Christmas blanket, Holiday Jamboree, will use the Jacob's ladder aspect in it. And so I've got a lot to do. That's why I wanted to do this pop-up, because it'll be a hot minute before I go live again. But I want to thank you all for joining me. It is almost 5 a.m. where I'm at, and I need to start filming so I can get this stitch done and get it out to the members. I know I'm a little bit late. Hopefully I can get back on par, because I was giving it to the members Fridays, and then my legs started, the other leg started, my syndrome spread to it, so it just started snowballing to where Sunday mornings is when they were getting it. Well, I'm trying to get it back to Friday mornings to the members, and then everybody else and then the public on Monday. But remember, if you're a member of my channel, the 19th at, I have no idea. Okay, Lisa, let me see, what time did I schedule it for? The 19th. Oh my gosh, what time did I schedule it for? It doesn't even tell me what time I scheduled it for. Oh my gosh, let me go to StreamYard. I don't really care about any of that. Go to me. Yeah, the 19th at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we'll have a members only live, and we're going to do a giveaway for the prototype for Bee's Knees. So I will see, that'd be the next time I see anybody. I'll be popping into chats if I can, when I can. I love you all, and I want to thank you all for the support you have shown me, and you know, seeing you guys, especially Jan Hill. Y'all gotta, Jan Hill, almost every blanket that I have created, she has done in one form or another. She amazes me. You know, I love her to death. I love everybody. But you all have a great night. Thank you all for hanging out with me for the past hour, listening to me just talk about crochet. You know, my love for Tunisian. I love it. Y'all know it. I hope it's getting contagious. But I will see y'all next time. And hopefully I'll see y'all on the streets. You all have a great day, great morning, or a great night. And I'll see y'all next time. Love you all. Bye. And you're welcome, Judy. Thank you for being here, sweetheart.